we need to talk about something serious: erectile dysfunction, or ED, in young men. It's a topic that's often brushed aside or joked about, but for many, it's a real and distressing issue that deserves honest discussion. While many think ED is only an older man's problem, that's no longer true. The reality is, it's showing up in younger age groups more than ever before. More young men are struggling with erections than ever before, and it's not just a rare occurrence anymore. For some, it's a persistent challenge that impacts daily life. This trend is surprising doctors and researchers alike. They're seeing a shift that's hard to ignore, and it's raising important questions. The issue is often hidden by embarrassment, but ignoring it won't help. Silence only makes it harder for those affected to seek support or solutions. The landscape of sexual health is changing, and ED is becoming alarmingly common in men under 40. This shift is happening across different backgrounds and lifestyles. Why? Modern lifestyles and pressures are different from those of previous generations. Stress, anxiety, and constant connectivity all play a role. The digital age has brought new challenges for young men's minds and bodies. Technology, social media, and online habits can all have unexpected effects. This isn't a minor blip, it's a real public health concern. The numbers are growing, and the impact is far-reaching. ED affects not just physical health, but also mental well-being and relationships. It can lead to frustration, isolation, and even depression. When something so fundamental is compromised, the effects ripple out, damaging confidence and straining relationships. Partners may feel confused or helpless, adding to the stress. Young men should be exploring their sexuality with confidence, not battling anxiety and doubt. Everyone deserves to feel secure and positive about their sexual health. So why is this happening? There's no single answer. It's a complex issue with many layers. Multiple factors are at play, and we need to explore them. Only by understanding the full picture can we hope to make a difference. We'll look at how online habits, especially pornography, might contribute. The internet has changed how young men learn about and experience sex. We'll also consider lifestyle factors and health conditions. Diet, exercise, and even sleep patterns can all play a role. The goal isn't to blame, but to understand. Compassion and open-mindedness are key to finding real solutions. Understanding is the first step to finding solutions. When we know what's really going on, we can start to make changes that matter. It's time to get real about this issue. Honest conversations can break down stigma and help more young men get the help they need. Let's break the silence and help young men reclaim their sexual health. The conversation starts now, and together we can make a difference. So, what exactly is erectile dysfunction, often called ED? ED is the consistent inability to get or keep an erection firm enough for satisfying sexual activity. Occasional trouble happens to everyone. Stress, tiredness, or alcohol can be to blame, and these moments are usually temporary. But when these problems persist and start to cause distress or anxiety, it's a medical condition, not a personal failing or weakness. ED has long been linked to aging, with risk factors like reduced blood flow, nerve changes, and chronic illnesses such as diabetes or heart disease. That's why for decades, older men were the main focus of research and treatment for ED. But new data shows ED can affect men of any age, including those in their 20s and 30s. For young men, it's especially confusing and isolating since it's rarely talked about openly. Many think, "I'm too young for this," which leads to shame, embarrassment, and reluctance to seek help or talk to anyone. We need to break the stigma. Youth doesn't guarantee immunity, and silence only makes things harder. Erections are complex, involving the brain, hormones, emotions, nerves, muscles, and blood vessels all working together. Any disruption in this system, whether physical or psychological, can cause ED, regardless of age. The brain sends signals to the nerves in the penis, causing muscles to relax and blood to flow in, creating an erection. If this process is interrupted at any point, erections may not happen or may not last long enough for sex. That's why so many different things, like stress, anxiety, health conditions, or even medications, can contribute to ED. It's not just about age, it's about the whole system working together in harmony. Young men need to know they're not alone, and support is available. ED is a medical issue, not a reflection of masculinity or self-worth. Understanding the mechanics helps us see why ED is so common and nothing to be ashamed of. The more we know, the better we can address it, support each other, and find solutions. Let's move past old stereotypes and focus on real solutions that help everyone. ED can happen to anyone. Let's talk about it, support each other, and make it easier to seek help. The numbers don't lie. More young men are seeking help for ED than ever before. This trend is being noticed not just in clinics but also in online health forums and telemedicine platforms where young men are reaching out for advice and support. Research shows that up to 1 in 4 new ED patients are under 40, a figure that would have been unthinkable just a generation ago. This is a dramatic shift from previous decades when ED was considered almost exclusively an older man's issue. The rise in prescriptions for ED medications among younger men tells the same story, with pharmacies reporting a steady increase in demand. While reduced stigma helps, experts believe the increase is real, not just more reporting. Doctors are seeing more genuine cases, not just more conversations. It's good that more men feel comfortable talking to doctors, but the reasons behind this surge are concerning and complex. Modern lifestyles, mental health struggles, and possibly environmental factors are all in play, creating a perfect storm for this issue to grow. And remember, these statistics likely underestimate the problem, since not everyone comes forward. Many young men still suffer in silence, too embarrassed or afraid to seek help, even when they need it most. Some turn to unreliable online sources or risky cures, hoping for a quick fix instead of real medical advice. The real number of young men struggling with ED is probably much higher than any official count. This makes it an urgent issue we can't ignore, both for individuals and for society as a whole. Open communication and awareness are key to breaking the cycle of silence and shame. The first step is recognizing the scale of the problem and making sure no one feels alone in facing it. Let's talk about a major factor: pornography. The internet has made porn more accessible and extreme than ever. Many young men have grown up with unlimited access, and research shows this can impact sexual health. It's not about morality, it's about how the brain adapts to constant, intense stimulation. Porn floods the brain with dopamine, conditioning it to expect high novelty. Real-life sex, by comparison, can seem less exciting, making arousal with a partner difficult. This is called porn-induced erectile dysfunction, or PIED. Overexposure to online content can desensitize the brain's reward system. Unrealistic expectations from porn can create anxiety and disappointment in real relationships. The disconnect between fantasy and reality is a serious problem. Understanding this link is crucial for addressing ED in young men. Let's dig deeper into the dopamine trap. Dopamine drives us to seek rewards, like food or sexual imagery. Internet porn offers endless novelty, causing repeated dopamine spikes. Over time, the brain becomes less sensitive, needing more stimulation for the same effect. This is similar to addiction. Real-life intimacy can't compete with the constant novelty online. This leads to frustration, wanting intimacy but struggling to respond physically. The cycle continues. ED leads to anxiety, which leads back to porn, reinforcing the problem. The more a man relies on porn for arousal, the harder it is to connect with a real partner. Breaking this cycle is tough, but it's possible. Recognizing the dopamine trap is the first step. Real intimacy requires a reset of expectations and habits. The path to recovery starts with understanding the brain's response. ED's impact goes far beyond the bedroom. It can shake a young man's confidence and self-worth. Society often ties masculinity to sexual performance, making ED feel like a personal failure. This can lead to shame, avoidance of intimacy, and relationship strain. Partners may feel rejected or confused, and communication can break down. The pressure to perform can turn sex into a source of anxiety instead of joy. Porn's unrealistic standards can also harm real relationships, fueling dissatisfaction. Real intimacy is about connection, not performance. Appreciating the imperfections of real sex is key to healthy relationships. Overcoming ED means rebuilding self-esteem and honest communication. It's about connection, vulnerability, and mutual pleasure. Healthy intimacy starts with realistic expectations. Porn isn't the only factor. ED is complex. Medical conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and hormonal imbalances can affect young men too. Early symptoms of these issues can include ED. Lifestyle choices matter. Stress, poor diet, lack of exercise, smoking, and alcohol all play a role. Mental health is crucial. Anxiety, depression, and relationship problems can contribute. Performance anxiety can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. A holistic approach is needed to address all possible causes. Don't overlook physical or psychological factors. Comprehensive care is key to recovery. When should you see a doctor about ED? Occasional trouble is normal, but persistent problems that cause distress need professional attention. Don't wait for it to go away. Get evaluated. Doctors can identify underlying causes, whether physical or psychological. Tests may include a physical exam, blood work, and a discussion of your lifestyle. It's normal to feel embarrassed, but doctors are here to help, not judge. ED is a medical issue, not a reflection of your worth. Sometimes, ED is an early warning sign of bigger health problems. Addressing it can protect your overall health. Listen to your body's signals and take action. Seeking help is a sign of strength. If you're worried about ED, there's hope, and there are steps you can take. Acknowledge the issue without shame and decide to act. Consider reducing or eliminating porn. Try a reboot to reset your brain's reward system. Focus on real-life connections and intimacy. Many men see improvement after a period away from porn. Prioritize a healthy lifestyle, exercise, eat well, maintain a healthy weight, and avoid smoking and excess alcohol. Manage stress with mindfulness, meditation, or time in nature. These changes benefit your sexual and overall health. Don't hesitate to seek professional help. Talk to your doctor or a therapist. Therapy can address anxiety, depression, or relationship issues. Taking these steps is courageous and empowering. You have the power to make positive changes.